And if you really feel that you need to endorse it by putting them out there, then fine. Let them do a commercial. Let them do 2 commercials. Let them even do a TV show here or there. But that's it. That's it. Cut it off. Don't let them become super famous, because you're robbing your child of their experience. It's one thing to have like something to do, like a school play. You know what I mean? You do a school play, you do a commercial, you do something here and there, and it doesn't affect the rest of your life. But if you do something like, a hit TV series, you're going to be remembered forever, and that's a price that person is going to have to pay in life. And it's just not fair. It's selfish. That's the way I look at it. It's very selfish.
I mean, it makes sense. And like, not to be, I'm from New York, so I just like, maybe I'm jaded, but other than money and fame, I don't understand. There can't be really any other motivation at that age for a parent. There just can't be, right? I mean,
right, exactly. And the other thing you have to look at is, look at all the bad stuff that we hear about coming out. Is it worth taking the risk? What if guys like me are right? I'm sure there's plenty out there that are going to say I'm lying, or that, my story's not credible or whatever, even though I've been telling the same story my whole life and I've never changed it once and never wavered. But, there's still an army of haters out there that try to publicly defame me and defraud me and all kinds of stuff all the time, and constantly try to say that my truth isn't my truth. And, it's, how dare they? But whatever, let them have their fun. The bottom line is the truth is the truth, and there's only one truth, and God sees that.
That is true. So when did you decide, you're put into this, when did it change for you of like, wait a second, this really is what I want to do? Like, was it your teen years? Like when we got into the 80s, was it before that? Like, when was it like, wait a second?
It was never, this is what I want to do. It was, I have no choice now. I'm either going to fail at this life that I've been built, or I'm going to find a way to work with it and make it work for me. And that was kind of more or less the idea. What happened was, when I got sober, when I was 18 years old, 19 years old, I went into rehab in 1989. I was in there for 10 months and got out at the very end of 1989. And that was when I was sober. And it was December, I believe, of 89, either December of 89 or December of 91. I always forget. But anyway, right around then, I got out of rehab, and it's like a crossroads, because I had been publicly smeared. The media had destroyed me. It was like I made this mistake, which was called being drugged by a pedophile who decided to destroy my life by drugging me and taking control of me. And because of that, I became a drug addict. And nobody asked why. Nobody wanted to know why. Nobody cared about the inner pain or the turmoil or what I'd been through. Nobody had any empathy or sympathy for what I'd been through. They were like, you're a drug addict. Screw you. This kid's going down. And that was the way it went down. So at 18 years old, they had basically written me off. My life was over. My career was over. I would never get another leading role in a plus theatrical motion picture studio film. To this day, still hasn't happened. Still has not happened. I've put out a lot of movies in the last 20 years. I've executive produced movies for Warner Brothers. But even though it was a studio film, it was a direct to DVD studio film. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always a catch. But when's the last time, a network or a studio has said, hey, it's the Corey Feldman film. It's a Corey Feldman movie. It's a Corey Feldman TV show, whatever. No, it doesn't happen. Why is that? Why is that? Because there's a stigma? Because I did drugs when I was 17 years old and got sober by 18? I got news for you. Everybody does drugs in Hollywood, and they're still doing drugs, and nobody even mentions it. They get away with it as long as they don't see anything. Put the blinders on, everybody's cool. So it's just like, it's hypocrisy. It's complete hypocrisy. But I later realized that it wasn't about the drugs. It wasn't about the fact that, I was drugged and controlled by adults when I was a child that led me to be molested and all of this stuff. Like, okay, yeah, but it wasn't about that. What it was about was the fact that they knew that I was going to be an honest, forthright person that was going to speak the truth. And that is the biggest fear, right? That's the biggest fear. So they've been trying to shut me down, silence me, emasculate me, desensitize me, sanitize me, all of these things they've been trying to do to tamper and damper my image and my voice and my human being, because God forbid I tell people the truth.
Yeah,
And
that's
so I've been ostracized for it, and that's the way it goes. But guess what? I still keep creating. I still keep giving love anyway, because I'm a love being and it's all about love. And if we succumb to the pressure of self-hatred that they try to instill in you, and I mean hardcore, I've never seen anything like what I've endured the last 5 years, since I decided to tell my story in a documentary. When I decided I was going to have a campaign and try and make the first movie, which failed. We only raised like $300,000 because it all got corrupted by Judy Haim, the mother of the child that I was best friends with that was also raped. So I promised him I would tell his story, and we told my story and we told his story, and we put it into, originally I was putting it into a feature film, and then that just got, the kibosh. It got shut down, even though when I first made the announcement, fans rushed to my side and we had like $250,000 raised in the first 12 hours because
wow.
people wanted so badly to support me. And then she came in and said I was a liar and it was all BS and I was a grifter and I was just trying to get money out of my fans and it was all BS. Like, who does that? Who does that? Like, if you don't agree with my experience, you have the right to debate it. We can go lie detector to lie detector any day of the week. Any day of the week. I'll say that again. Any day of the week. But that said, don't you dare come in here and try and silence me and tell me that my truth and my story is not valid. Screw you.
I don't blame you. I have questions about the movie too, but before we get there, I mean,
I don't even want to
before,
go into that. I don't even want to talk about the movie. That's how bad it is. I don't even want to talk
wow.
about it. It's off the record. I pulled the movie. It's down. It's gone. I can't even like show it because the harassment was so terrible. They stole the film. They pirated the film. They hacked the film. And then they went around trying to disparage me and haven't given me a shot to even give my side of the story on mainstream media. Not one journalist has gone, maybe we should try and investigate what these claims were that Corey Feldman made. Maybe we should look at the fact that his film was pirated and hacked and stolen in front of a live audience, and millions of people were disappointed not being able to buy tickets. But alas, a fake website popped up at the same time, sold tickets. My film, sold my stream, built a fake set website, and then sold tickets to it, and then gave it out to everybody for free on YouTube just to liquidate it. All of this is a story, and no reporter. How can you tell me that there's no Pulitzer Prize winning, Nobel Peace Prize winning reporter out there that would take this very seriously and do a thorough investigation? How has it not happened? Because they want to silence this story. They'll talk about girls all day. They'll talk about females being abused all day, but they will not talk about little boys being abused. Period.
Well, I was just gonna say, because you look at like a Rose McGowan, like she had like Ronan Farrow, and that's how the whole Harvey Weinstein, like,
exactly. And guess what? I reached out to Ronan. Ronan wouldn't even help me. Ronan wouldn't even do an interview for my film, even though he was waiting on the sidelines, and he admitted this himself in an interview in Esquire, how he was waiting on the sidelines to basically ambush me after the Today Show performance, because he was under contract for NBC at the time, working for NBC on the Today Show. And he supposedly was told by his higher ups that he was going to ambush me and start talking to me about all the pedophilia stuff when I was in the middle of my musical performance. Like, I was going to finish the performance, and he was going to ambush me with this. And then they pulled him off of it at the very last second and said, we decided that this is too heavy of a topic for our morning audiences.